So kind of going off what you were, saying, what are your thoughts? This would kind of be like outside of your study, but, more in general. What are your thoughts on implementing
Yeah.
more spirituality in our healthcare system? Because, you got to go to other countries, I want to say primarily less developed countries, but, there is that connection between the spirit and the body, or I guess, you could say like the existential purpose in the body. And do you think that is something that we could implement?
That's a great question. I mean, ours is not the only system of medicine, right, of healthcare in the world. There's very old, traditional Chinese medicine, and there's Ayurvedic medicine, and a lot of those other systems, really do think more about the mind-body connection or the spiritual components of health. So how you make them work here is tricky because I don't think that you can just add them on to medical training in the same way. I think it's its own thing.
Right.
Um, but for some patients, that might really be much more useful to them than traditional Western allopathic medicine. Um, I just don't know how to tell who will most benefit from which.
I feel like a great way to determine that would probably be, more education for patients about, the connections between their thoughts and their physiology. Because, a lot of folks don't put together the influences of, stress or bad relationships or home issues, those
Mm.
emotional, those mental problems that we have. We don't really, see how that affects the body. That connection isn't there for a lot of folks in this country.
That's true. I mean, there's a lot more interest in kind of mindfulness and resilience and things like that these days. I think, and knowledge about the impacts of stress on us mentally and physically. I think, a little bit of a danger there, though, is if you say to people, wow, you're really stressed, you should start meditating. And the reason why they're really stressed is, they don't make a living wage. They're being oppressed because of their skin color. There's
Yeah.
all these sort of societal things from the outside. It's almost like saying, well, you got to fix that yourself. Go and meditate, and then we don't have to fix society. And we probably need to also fix society.
I don't know, man. Like meditation, deep breathing. It's a great coping skill in the moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it it's not. It can definitely bring a fresh perspective, to situations or events within your life, but it's not going to solve them for you. I feel that. If we're going to focus on, how to transform society, technology is going to be a way to do that. So I guess let me ask you, what sort of like technological advancements in medicine are you finding kind of most inspiring for the future?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't usually think actually that much about technology, oddly enough, except as an impediment in a medical visit in terms of electronic health records.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think the world is really different now that everybody carries a computer in their pocket, and that's obviously been a huge change. And I think we're going to see more and more kind of health apps and stuff like that. There are we're getting close, I think, to states beginning to do contact tracing for COVID-19 with smartphone apps. And
Yeah.
the problem, of course, is that like like many things, technology is sort of neutral, but it's been abused in the service of profit and self-interest so much that people are now very skeptical and concerned, and maybe rightly so, about it, about the implications of any technological advance. I mean, I used to be, I'm still a recreational computer programmer. I still do a lot of programming, but I was a computer guy from like way, way back, from '78.
Oh,
And I
wow.
love like what we can do. Yeah, I had an Apple II a long time ago. I love what we can do technologically. I mean, it's just amazing. But I'm not, in those days, like those of us who had computers were a very small group, and we all thought all information should be free. And it was a very kind of naive and idealistic perspective. And then the profit motive kicks in, and nobody can be naive anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel that people should definitely, have a suspicion when it comes to technology. I feel that, that is well warranted, primarily when, we have seen big tech just exploit, the consumers of that technology at every single, every opportunity they
Yep.
had. Excuse me. But at the same time, though, I feel like, like you were saying, more free and open technology is, or more free and open data, I should say, is going to give us so much more to work with, so much more tools at our disposal.
Yeah, I mean, at heart of it, the issue is not technology, right? The issue is people.
Right.
And do people want to work together and be cooperative and create communities that are interdependent and self-reinforcing, or is everyone out for themselves?
Right. Right.
And you get very different worlds depending on how you spin that question.